Leadership. In fact, this was something that I talked about last night on a inner circle coaching call that I did. And so I am feeling like I need to give a lecture. I know no one likes a lecture, but I'm in lecture mode. And so listen, as you guys hop on the live, let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Great to see you guys on. And so yeah, give me your city and your state. Let me know if you're watching it live or on the replay. And so what I want to talk about here is just some mistakes that network marketers are making. Literally millions and millions of network marketers are making this mistake. Like, they've got a dream, they've got a desire to go full time. If you've got a desire to go full time in network marketing, drop me a yes in the comments below. Like, we know that this is a big desire. Like, we want to be free. I got into network marketing when I was in college, and I just kind of got that, like, man, I am kind of psychologically unemployable. I was a good employee. I did my job good. I just couldn't take it. I had literally, like, I counted it up the other day. I think it was 23, 24 different jobs before I got full-time in network marketing at 24 years old. I had a ton of jobs. I never got fired. There's one that I should have been fired. I'll tell you that story in a minute. But I just couldn't stand it. It was like, I hate this. I want to own my life. I want to be full-time. I want to, like, even if I'm not making millions of dollars, I just want to be able to escape the rat race, fire my boss, live life on my terms, have freedom, right? That's what I wanted. And I struggled for 5 years. And here's what we can all say, like, once you've made it, you can look back, and hindsight is 2020. Like, I wish I had known what I'm going to share with you today. I just wish I would have known it. And I don't know why no one taught it to me. It took me years before someone actually said, hey, here's what you need to know to get full time, right? And so there's a set of skills, right? There's really, you could argue 6, I say 7 key skills in network marketing that you need to get mastery in if you want to be full-time. And so here's the challenge. Here's where I'm going to get on my soapbox for a little bit, is millions of people have this huge desire to be full-time. They go to trainings, they read books, they take this like shotgun approach to personal development. But if I were to say, like, gun to your head, what are the 7 key skills that it takes to be successful in network marketing? What are they? I know you have this big dream. I know you're committed. What are the key skills? And even if it's not my 7, like, what are the key skills? Like, what do you need to know specifically how to do in order to be full-time in network marketing? Gun to your head, 98%, I'm making this up, of network marketers would have no idea. Like, I don't know what those skills are, like recruiting. Let's see, getting people started. They wouldn't know. And listen, if you don't know the key skills, it's not your fault. No one has told you the key skills. It is, however, your responsibility if you continue to try and go full-time in our profession and not know what these skills are. You need to know these like the back of your hand, right? If you're really serious. So once you've been exposed to this, I almost question your seriousness if you don't remember what these are. So this is a content-driven live here. So get a pen, take notes. You need to know these things. Thank you for the happy birthday message. We got people from East Africa, Burundi. Very cool. Good to see you guys on. Trish in Jamaica. Looks like a Jamaica flag, I believe, if I know my flags. I see Colorado, Indianapolis, Indiana. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so listen, if you guys decide to share this and you hit the share button, let me know in the comments that you shared it so I can give you a shout out on that. And so listen, here are the key skills that you need to know if you want to get full-time. Number 1, first key skill is prospecting. Okay, this is finding people to talk to, like old school. When I built my first 2-3 organizations, this was like belly to belly, right? You're out and about, you learn how to meet people. I did all kinds of crazy stuff to generate leads and advertising. Like, I tried everything. I mean, 26 years of doing this. I've tried just about everything. But that's something that I had to master. Like, one of the reasons why people fail in network marketing is they have a scarcity mentality when it comes to prospecting, when it comes to leads. They just don't have enough people to talk to. So when you finally get a lead who's like willing to look at your business, you're like, oh, my precious, I need this lead, right? You need it so bad. And here's what you need to know. If your prospects, they sense neediness like a dog smells fear, right? And they are repelled by you if you have a scarcity mindset as it relates to leads and people to talk to. And so you need to have an abundance mentality. You need an abundance of leads because we're definitely in the sorting business. I saw someone the other day, it was a leader who had made it, and it was like, it's not a numbers game. Bullshit. It's a freaking numbers game. Like, you need to work on your skills, but you could be the most masterful recruiter in the world. And if you're talking to only a few people, you're never going to go full time. So don't say once you've made it, it's not a numbers game. It's a freaking numbers game. How did you make it? Like, the reason why you made it to the top in network marketing is because you went through a lot of numbers, right? And so let's be real. You need to be good. It's not only numbers, but it is a numbers game. You need to go through the numbers for sure. This is from a guy who, if you don't know me, I built teams, #1 income earner in 3 different companies. Teams have grown to 2.5 million customers, 54 documented $1 million earners on the team. I've made about $20 million. And so, it's not that I'm God's gift to network marketing. I'm by no means the best at anything in network marketing, but you figure it out. When you do it for 26 years at the highest levels, you eventually figure it out. Okay. So skill number 1 is you need to get good at prospecting, finding people to talk to. Today, this is social media, being able to attract people on social media. Okay. So that's skill number 1. What's skill number 2? It's the invitation. It's inviting people to look at your prospect services and opportunity. Okay. This is not a presentation. This is getting enough interest to get them to say, yeah, I want to know more. Okay. Show me your opportunity. And then you show it. Okay. So that's skill number 3 is presenting. Now, there's a lot of different ways to present. Old school, we used to do conference calls, hotel meetings. There's still a lot of companies having a lot of success with doing live events. I don't think anything will ever convert as high as a higher percentage than live events, right? And so lots of social media gurus are like, live events are dead. And they kind of were with the pandemic. But I definitely see a lot of events, coming back, people doing events, and your enrollment ratio is just going to be higher because of the energy in the presentation. And so part of getting mastery in the presentation is, what do you say before the presentation? Okay. To set it up properly. Okay. Learning these things, right? And so that's presenting. Skill number 4 is following up and closing. And I'll be the first to admit, I've never been the best at follow up. Years ago, I was like a 3 strikes and you're out when I would remember to follow up 3 times, but it was more like a 1 or 2 strikes and you're out. Got to the point where when I had an abundance of people reaching out to me, I got really bad at follow up. Don't be like me. Be good at follow up. Okay. They say the fortune is in the follow-up. It definitely is. So follow up with your prospects. Ask them to get started. Number 1 reason why people don't join network marketing is they're not asked to join network marketing. So we got to ask. I remember years ago, I had a girl on my team, super sharp. She had done network marketing before. And great with people. Everyone loved her. It was like, and she comes to me one day and she's like, I've showed 14 people and I've gotten 14 no's. No one's signing up. And so I'm like, I know her. And I'm like, something's off, because it's not like she's got a personality that repels people. She's got an attractive personality, right? She's well-spoken. She's smart. There's no reason why she should have 14 out of 14 say no. And so I dig in. I go, well, who are you showing it to? And she's like, well, people that I meet. And like, she was really good with cold market prospecting, friends of mine, people at work, things like that. And I go, okay, well, what do you tell me about your invite? And she goes, well, I'm doing like this invite, and the invite was fine. And I said, all right, well, what are you saying before the presentation? She goes, I do the 3-step setup. I go, okay, perfect. And then how are you presenting? She goes, well, I'm doing the video presentation with them in person. Okay, awesome. And I say, what do you say when the video ends? And she goes, I say, pretty awesome, isn't it? What'd you like best? And I go, okay, great. And then what next? And she goes, well, then they tell me what they like best. And I go, okay, well, then what do you say? And she goes, well, we just kind of talk. I said, do you actually ask them to join? She says, oh. She wasn't asking anyone to join. Both Mihai, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Marissa, good to see you on. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. She wasn't asking. Number one reason why people don't join is they're not asked. So we need to get good at asking. Okay, so those first 4 skills, okay, what are they again? Let me recap if you're just joining the live. Skill number 1 to get full-time in network marketing is prospecting, finding people to talk to. Skill number 2 is inviting. Skill number 3 is presenting. Skill number 4 is following up and closing. These 4 are what you need to master to become a producer, okay? To get good at production. And if you haven't personally sponsored 30 people in your organization, you have not mastered these. You're not a serious producer unless you've personally sponsored at least 30, okay? So what are the next skills? Skill number 5 is where the duplication process starts kicking in. Skill number 5 is getting a new person started. Okay, so I sucked so bad at this. I got to the point where after about 4 years, I was just terrible. Like I had so much fear, so many self-limiting beliefs. I just could not get anything going to save my life. I finally figured out a sales process where I could recruit people, right? And so I got good at prospecting. I got good at inviting. I'd have people go through a presentation. Like rock star closing. I read a bunch of sales books basically, and I learned the assumptive close, and it worked. And man, over the course of a few months, I built a team of 150 people. Now, here's the problem. Problem was I personally sponsored 90 out of the 150. I had one other guy on my team who was a friend of mine, and he was the sales manager for his dad's supply company. I taught him my sales technique, and he personally sponsored the rest. Like we were masters at recruiting, and we'd have contests. It was like, dude, this week I sponsored 8. Oh man, I only sponsored 6. Like we were so good at recruiting. But as soon as we recruited them, it was on to the next one. It was literally like we enrolled them and it was like, all right, awesome. Welcome to the team. I'm going to email you some details. And we'd email them details and go sponsor another one. So no duplication. I'm crying here because I'm just laughing at how bad I was. No duplication on the team. And so here's where, this is what I teach my clients is like, you need to know how to troubleshoot your people as you grow as a leader. Like there are 6-figure earners who have no idea how to troubleshoot their teams based on where they're at on the leadership scale. And based on the key skills, right? In fact, there's people I've mentored from 5,000 a month to 50,000 a month, and they got to 5,000 a month having no idea what the 7 key skills were. They just grinded it out for so long. They did so many presentations, went to so many meetings, read so many books, so many trainings. Eventually, they just figured it out. No framework, no nothing, just like ignorance on fire. And listen, ignorance on fire is 1,000,000 times better than knowledge on ice, but it doesn't have to be so hard. Right? If you learn these frameworks, like the 7 key skills, and you learn leadership frameworks, you can troubleshoot. You're like a surgeon. You know how to fix things. And if you don't learn the frameworks, you're clueless forever. And you're going to always struggle with leadership. Okay. Misa, thank you for the share. Matt John, thank you for the share. I appreciate it. Monty, good to see you on, my friend. Okay. So let's continue. Skill number 5 is getting a new person started. So what do you do with a brand new person? All right, they just joined, and how do you get them duplicating? So this is a skill that you need to get mastery in if you want to be successful. So that's skill number 5. Skill number 6 is promoting events. Now understand, this is why I made it one of the key skills, and other people may not. I have it as a key skill because here's what it takes to go big in network marketing. It takes a big decision, and big decisions are typically made at events. Now we do a lot of Zoom events, right? You know, your company may do Zoom events, you may do live events, whatever the events are, you need to get your people there, because if they don't see the bigger picture, they never get the belief. They never make the big decision. This is what I learned in Amway when I was 18 years old, is it takes a big decision, and big decisions are made at big events. And if you don't get people to big events, they don't make big decisions. Their belief level doesn't go up. And so you're not going to develop leadership effectively unless you get really good at promoting events. It's why I have a 10-point event promotion blueprint that teaches my clients how to be masterful when it comes to event promotion. Okay. And it's the only reason, like if I look at, a team that I built in 13 years, team grew to 2.5 million customers, and I take very little credit for it. It's because we got masterful at promoting events, and people would come to the events and their head gets blown off. They're so excited. They come out of the event ready to run through a brick wall to build the business. And if you just think about this, like if you ask most leaders in network marketing, like what was the trigger that caused you to decide to go all in? In so many cases, like I was at a leadership event one time. I was in Monte Carlo, and we're at this, I think it was the oldest casino in the world. I mean, there's Bugatti parked out front, and it is, if you haven't been to Monte Carlo, it's a crazy experience, right? And I asked all the leaders, like, hey, what was it that caused you to like really decide to go all in? Everyone said it was an event. It was something that happened at the event. It may have been a testimony, like they saw someone else performing at a high level and they're like, man, if that dude can do it, I can do it. So events are going to create peak emotions. Peak emotions create peak decisions or major decisions, and that causes people to go all in. So that's a key skill, getting people to events to raise their belief. One word when it comes to creating momentum in your organization, one word above all else. Okay. If you don't know like the one word that creates momentum, you're going to struggle. You'll be doomed to failure if you don't know these things. Okay. This is why I'm teaching you this. It's belief. When people have rock solid belief in the company, the products, the training system, the upline, themselves, they will take unreasonable action. They will go crush it if they have the belief. If you don't get people the belief, they will never go crush it. And as good as you may think you are, as good as I think I may be, I'm not good enough to build that belief in people. I need them to get to an event to get them that belief. And so that is skill number 6. Skill number 7 is training. Okay, this is basically what I'm doing right now. I'm teaching you guys the 7 key skills that it takes to get full-time in network marketing. Okay, now this is where, there's different levels of effectiveness when it comes to training. At first, you just need to be able to train the information. Okay, you need to eventually get to the point where if you want to be able to move a crowd, as an example, you learn to be funny on stage, you learn how to touch, move, and inspire, you learn how to transfer emotion to others. And so in that skill, there's a handful of different things that you learn. So my friends, these are the 7 key skills, and it's sad, like it pains me, it hurts me that there are millions of people who are like, I want to get full-time so bad, and I just can't seem to make it work. And then I go, all right, what are the 7 key skills that it takes to go full-time? And they're like, I have no idea. No idea. You don't even know what the skills are. So it's very hard to get full-time. So my friends, you've got the 7 key skills. Memorize these. Learn them like the back of your hand. If you want some additional coaching, like if I can provide any additional value, feel free to hop over to mattmorriscoaching.com. Pretty easy to remember, mattmorriscoaching.com. And I do have an inner circle program. For 20 years, becoming the top earner in 3 different companies, people look at me and be like, oh, you have this magical ability to create success. Nope, no magical ability. I just have these frameworks that I've been using for 20 years that work. It's kind of like, have you ever seen a magician where the magician does this trick and you're like, oh my God, I can't figure it out for the life of me. I can't figure out how the magician does it. And you're like, man, I wish I could know. And you don't know. And then the magician actually shows you how he does the trick. And then once you see how he does the trick, you're like, what? Like, how did I not know that? It's not that simple. It's not that difficult. It was really pretty simple. You just didn't know it. That's kind of like what it's like to be a powerful leader in network marketing. It's not magic. It looks like magic from the outside looking in. It's really not. It's simple. You just have to know what the simple is. And it took me 20 years to figure out how to refine it and distill it and put it in, a format that works every time you work it. So listen, I appreciate you guys hopping on. Thank you. Those of you who've shared this, I appreciate it. Thank you for your comments. I will do more of these. Trish Campbell, thank you for the share. I appreciate it. I have not been going live much on Instagram, so I'll hop on and go live more often with you guys. So lots of love. If you want some coaching, feel free to hop over to mattmorriscoaching.com. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Take care.